And then so many planets revolving around that. That is Adhibhuta. And Adhyatma is source of light. Sun is the pinnacle of energy pyramid. Because of him, we are all living. Without taking anything from us, sun is glowing. And because of sun, we have rains and we have vegetation and we are consuming that. So in the pyramid of energy, man is at the bottom. Giving nothing, contributing nothing for the world, he is using and abusing everything. And so, how we are humbled in front of sun. So, my real spirit should be that. Sun should become my real spirit. Asavadityo brahmeti sohamasmi. That's the greatest truth, and may I go towards that. And then the physical features and spiritual features are over. But how to approach that, how to present it in a more attractive manner, in a more sustainable way, in a more enduring way, then I need Adhidaiva. Means sun is God. He has a chariot moving on one wheel, the wheel of time, having 12 spokes, 6 spokes representing the 6 seasons, and having different colors representing the Shukla and the 12 months, and then black and white patches representing Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha, like that. These metaphorical meanings are there, and 7 horses, the 7 color. Like that, we have a beautiful scientific as well as spiritual meaning. And then, if you want to present in the form of art, sun means you just hang the glowing sun's orb in front of the audience. Are we coming and sitting in the physics class or in the art gallery? So we need a painting of sun. Dance means we have to show the 7 horses moving in Ashvakramtachari or in Rathakramtachari or in Vaishakarechita Karana movement. And then sun having 2 lotuses in the hand. We have to show Alapadmahasta and then moving like that. And then 2 wives, Chaya and Sanya, or else 3, Usha, Chaya, Padmini, like that. We show all that and they dance together. So many happening things are there on the stage like that. This is Adhidaiva. Adhidaiva needs an appealing process to respect and to endorse a spiritual truth. These are all inseparable, but they live in different planes. And that's why we have symbolism in our mythology also. For example, we have the 3 states of wakeful, dream and sound sleep. This is very, very important for realizing the oneness. We have clearly visible differences of body, mind and all that, distinctions of matter and spirit and all in the wakeful state, and the same is carried out in the dream. But in sound sleep, we don't have anything. We forget our caste, creed, gender, nationality, social, economic, all these states are forgotten. If anybody says, even in my sleep I had my distinctions, means none will believe. He is bluffing. When that is the case, we can experience the oneness only in sound sleep. So take that as the benchmark. Because where we have the commonality, from then we should start. Like a graph is starting from the origin, so we have to start. And that's why we are not concentrating on the wakeful state or on the dream state, we are going to the sound sleep, that is Sushupti. And then this equanimity, this oneness, if you could achieve in the wakeful state also, as an efforted practice, then it is better to a great extent. See, that is what we are trying to do. The harmony present or felt in us, in nature, if we want to bring in action, then comes art. In life, we don't have harmony. We want to show it in art. Means it is a wishful thought, wishful modeling. The enduring effort is yoga. That is sadhana. What else? That undisturbed situation, undisturbed state of mindlessness, which was mindful completely, the alpha rhythm state, as somebody called, and that if it could be achieved in the rest of the states also, what else is a better thing? Because We are all bothered by two things: Ishtanasha and Anishta Prapti. Is it not? Losing something which we want to possess and being attacked by something which we don't want to happen. This always bothers us. What is happiness? Ishta Prapti and Anishta Nivritti. Getting whatever I want to and getting rid of whatever I don't want. Why this happens? Because of the second thing. When you have a second thing, if it is lovable, we don't want to part of. If it is thing to be hated, we want to remove it completely. And that's why children, for that matter, they are unable to tolerate darkness. Darkness is ignorance. They think something will happen. Mother says, go to storeroom and fetch something. The child will say, no, there is monster, there is spirit, there is imp, something like that. No, nothing. Mother comes and switches on the bulb. Then nothing is there. So mother is like the master, and the light is knowledge, and the darkness is dispelled, and there is nobody. So when there is no second entity, then we have assurance. Dvitiyad vai bhayam bhavati, so says Upanishad. The very notion of second thing brings fear. That naturally happens in sound sleep. In sound sleep we do nothing. But that sound sleep brings all energy to do so many things, or at least something, in the daylight. So it is an empty space. It is something like a lung space. It is sakshi. Without doing anything, it promotes so many things. And that strength we need. And so that is taken as the reference. And that is the possible consciousness which is being felt by one and all. I don't want to go to the details of it. Those who are interested in it, please go to the works of Ramana or works of Sachidananda and Saraswati of Holenarsipur. Those who can follow Kannada, they can read two books, Avasthatraya Chandrika one, Paramartha Chintamani the other. Or in English, Vedanta, the Science of Reality by K.A. Krishnaswamy Iyer, and also the translation of Paramartha Chintamani done by Professor Gangoli. Well, this is the reference after which the all other things have started, and with there the oneness is experienced. And our aspiration is that we want to live for long. We want to know everything, and we want to be happy, and we should never be under anybody, and we should have authority over everybody. What else we need? Absolute existence we need, absolute awareness need, absolute bliss we need, absolute authority we need, and absolute freedom we need. Apart from these five things, we need nothing. And this is taken to be the nature of Atman. Whether it is reality or ideality, working towards that is always better. Whether a company gets complete profit without a pie of loss is possible or not, every CEO tries to manage that, tries to attain that, or at least pretends to do so. So we have so much of meaning in pursuing that. This is how Professor M. Hiriyanna, he arrives at Jivanmukti, liberation in life, liberation in the very life. And that's why liberation or moksha or whatever is not after death. It is here and now. We don't say moksha is nowhere. We split the word into two, now here. N-O-W-H-E-R-E, nowhere, is N-O-W-H-E-R-E, like that. We split the word. And this Jivanmukti is the bedrock of Indian spirit. And in no other culture we have this. And only in India we have that. And it's a very well established tradition. It's not an accidental breakthrough. It's not an accident happening. It's not a stray exception. It is the rule here. With these few things, we can go to some of the details, especially the modules for future discussions. But I am tempted to quote one thing. The oneness of spirit is so much in need. The whole world is in dire need of that, and that is being felt. And that's why in India, in Indian tradition, in Sanatana Dharma, when it is working for that, it is never against anybody. It cannot be. Shankara's Bhashya on Mandukya Karika of Gaudapada, it says, Asmadiyoyam Vaidika Sarvananyatvad Atmaikatva Darshana Pakshaha Na Virudhyate Yata Swahasta Padabhi Evam Ragadveshadi Doshanaspadaatvat Atmaikatva Buddhireva Samyak Darshanamityabhiprayaha Advaitam Paramartho Dvaitam Tadveda Uchyate Tesha Mubhaita Advaitam Tenayam Na Virudhyate. The last quote is from the Karika, and the earlier quote is from the Bhashya. I shall read the Karika once again. Advaitam paramarthohi dvaitam tadbheda uchyate tesha mubhaita advaitam tenayam na virudhyate. The absolute reality, the ideality, the non-duality, though it is the highest truth, it is no way against the relative truth of reality or material reality or the relative reality, the Dvaita. So, true spirituality is never against just materialism. Just materialism. And he says, ours being Vedic, in the sense, the true spirit of Veda is the essence of Indian culture. It's ananya. It's uncomparable. It's against nobody. How can I fight against my own body? If I am hit by stone while walking, if I am falling because of a hindrance caused by a stone, would I cut my toe? If by chance my finger touches my eye and my eye is injured, will I chop off my finger? It cannot happen. So is my body. So is my material world. The whole thing is mine. It is me. And so I cannot undo that. I cannot dismiss that. This is how the management of spirit and matter has to be taken care of. And that has become the breadth of Indian culture. In this light, how our ancestors developed learning. And here we have the Vidyas. Starting from synthesis to analysis, we can go. From the one, we have so many. The interrelatedness is very, very important. Ours is not a linear one. It's a cyclic one. Or at least helical model, we can say. I shall tell you a story from Vishnu Dharmottara Purana. In Vishnu Dharmottara Upapurana, Markandeya is teaching so many things to King Vajra. And Vajra wants to know the highest truth. And he says Nirguna, Nirakara, absolute consciousness in Sushupti and all. It's very difficult to comprehend. Tell me something concrete. Then you think of Pranava, the cosmic sound. Pranava, Prakrishtaha Navaha, the brand new. And Aniti iti Pranavaha, that spanda, that vibration which is in and out, that is Pranava. Even it is very difficult to comprehend, become even more concrete. Then, like PowerPoint presentation, which is very dazzling and appealing, unlike my dry sermonizing here, he gives Saguna and Sakara. It is given a shape, it is given a model, given a form. Then only we can comprehend. Form is essentially meant, name and form is meant for comprehension. Nama is designation. Rupa is structure. Structure and naming are very, very important. If we know a thing but not the name, it becomes so difficult to describe. Yesterday I was telling in my Raghumsha study circle, if I don't know the name of a person, name of a fruit, I have to say, it's yellowish in color, it's not as big as a coconut, not as small as a berry. Like that, so many words are needed. Yet the confusion remains. So we have a specific name, we will not be having. And if you have names but not forms, how to come to your place? You go to Rajaj Nagar and then take Rajkumar Road and then go still further and then this way left, that way right, that way U-turn. I am confused, please draw. That is form. So we need sense of sound and sight both. That's why we have Nama Rupa and Nama and Rupa, Namadheya and Rupadheya as we call. So concretizing happens. Markandeya tried to do that. All the virtues are represented here. Just take the example of Shiva. His third eye representing Jnana. We need two eyes for three-dimensional sight. And the third eye is the wisdom. And that is represented at the higher level. And then he has Damaruga in the hands, representing the cosmic sound. And Trishula. Pains will happen in three ways: the physical pain, the mental pain, and pain from the unforeseen thing. Physical and mental happening at my level, from the unforeseen, that is Adhidaiva. Like that, the trident, Trishula, is for the three Shulas pains, like that. And then the Vyaghra, Ajina, that is the hide of tiger, which is tying around that. The representation of violence, and violence is torn into pieces, and he is using that as the garment. Or the hide of elephant. Elephant is the symbol of pride, mother, and that is vanquished, and that is tied around the waist. And serpent representing vibrance, and that he takes as the alankara, the nadi shuddhi and nadi jagarana. Like that, we have so many metaphysical meanings. He is dancing. Only a person in joy can dance. A person, when he is going on streets, when he is singing, nobody would mistake. When he is reciting some prose passages, one and all would mistake him for a mad. Because song is very natural. Prose is unnatural. If we move like march past on the road, everybody will mistake. If we move with clapping our hands and dancing, people think he is in a merry mood at least. So, art is natural and non-artistic thing is unnatural. The Vyavahara is Kritaka and Vyavaharatita is Akritaka. It's a very peculiar paradox. Like that, the form has been deduced. And he says, well, I shall start worshipping, but how to materialize the form? Then he says, for that you have to make images. Teach me the technology of image making. For that you have to first paint. First you have the model in painting and then go to three-dimensional sculpture. Well, teach me painting. To know painting, you should know moving painting, that is dance. The gesture language and all should know. It's a very symbolic one. Indian art is not 100% realistic. It is surrealistic. It's a wonderful art by itself. I shall deal with some of the details later when I deal with 64 arts. For example, when the ring finger is half bent and the rest of the fingers are made straight, it is called Tripataka Hasta in Natya Shastra. If two hands are made Tripataka and kept at the shoulder level, they represent Shankha and Chakra. Or else the palms, when they are crossed like this, that becomes Chakra. And one is held like this, Mushti, and then it is kept like that. The fingers are closed, the left one, and the right palm is stretched like this, then it becomes Shankha, like that. These are the gesture languages which are used, and that is used in dance. This gesture language is for external communication in dance. And the same gesture language is used in Tantra as mudra. In dance, it is called external communication, so it is hasta, stretching beyond, that is the meaning. Mudra means sealing inwardly. So, the same gestures to withdraw from the surroundings, the same gestures to extravagantly present myself. Like that, in art and in meditation, the same idioms they go. So, these mudras and all, hasta should be known, movements, postures and all. He says, well, teach me dance. To know dance, we have to know music, rhythm we know. Teach me rhythm. Rhythm is based on nada, tune. Teach me music, tune. For that you should know lyric. Without lyric, music will not be that charming. Teach me lyrics. For that you should know poetry. Teach me poetry. For poetry you should know figures of speech, imagery and all. Teach me that. For that you should know language. Teach me language. You should know grammar. Teach me grammar. You should know the origin of sound. Teach me sound, the cosmic sound. Before thought, how it existed, the paravak. The existence of speech before thought, that is para. And the existence of speech at the level of thought, that is pashyanti. And the existence of speech before utterance, that is the preparedness to utter, that is madhyama. And the speech actual uttered, that is vaikhari. Again, the cosmic aspects of spirituality and sound came. So, starting point is the same and the ending point is the same. This happens in Indian tradition. So, all these are interconnected. Even in modern science, we have to know like that. Where we have connection between physical features of botany and zoology to quantum mechanics, now we have. But before 30 years, we didn't have all these things. You look at a person is made up of flesh and blood, bone, and then go further down, cells. Even further down, we have the nucleus, nucleolus, mitochondria, DNA, RNA structure are made up of some chemicals, some basic elements, and these are made up of atoms and then basic fundamental particles. And at the level of electrons, subatomic level, you don't know whether to call it as particle or wave. And the paradox of particle and wave, energy and matter, irreconcilable problem. So we have come to quantum mechanics. From flesh and blood we have come to that. At that level everything is same. Even stone is the same. Even human being is the same. A virus is protein entity when it is beyond the body, outside any biological entity. When it enters into the body, it acts like a living being. Outside it is non-living, inside it is living being. What is this paradox? Are you sitting above or below? When compared to me, you are sitting below. When compared to the floor, you are sitting above. When you are moving in a car, are you sitting or moving? With respect to car, you are sitting, and with respect to ground, you are moving. So this relativity is always there, indescribability is there. This way, so many subjects are interrelated, well connected, and this has been known at the spirit level. An intuitive understanding was there since time immemorial, and this is the samanvaya, this is the synthesis our ancestors had, and that's why knowledge can be two-folded. One is for the material development and the other for the spiritual development. So material development is paravidya and the spiritual development aparavidya, and spiritual development is paravidya. Dve vidye veditavye paracha aparacha. So Mundaka Upanishad says, belonging to Atharva Veda. Para is the highest, apara is comparatively lower, but it has its own merit. Just because Newtonian physics is superseded by Einsteinian physics, can we ignore Newtonian physics? Every day we are in the realm of Newtonian physics. And that's why Hiryanna says, in Indian philosophy, various systems of philosophy are there, but no philosophy vanquished the other. It absorbed the best of it, and ultimately the others used to subserve the Vedanta. That's how it happened. It is not the qualitative difference, it's only the quantitative difference. Then, even dividing further, Kautilya says in the Arthashastra, Vidyas are 4 in number. Chatasraha Vidyaha. Trayi Anvikshiki Varta Dandanitis Cheti. Trayi is Veda. The knowledge brought forward from time immemorial. All the past knowledge is Trayi. And then Varta. Varta is all the civic activities, Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya, and whatever we think of material activity, that is. And administration, rule, law, defense, military, all that comes under Dandaniti. And then independent logic beyond text, apart from text, that is Anvikshiki. Pradeepa Sarva Vidyanam, he says, it is the light of all knowledge. Means rationality, objectivity and inquiry, inquisitive mind, that is Anvikshiki. And then the knowledge brought forward from the past masters since time immemorial is Trayi. And Varta, that the day-to-day commerce, all that resources Varta and their management. And ultimately it is the governance that is Dandaniti. And even in those days of Kautilya, some people were there. They were the champions in advocating Trayi or Anvikshiki. The Manuvadis, they emphasized more on the Trayi, past knowledge. And the Brahaspati the brand rationalists, they championed the cause of Anvikshiki. And the followers of Shukra, they propounded Dandaniti very much. But Kautilya says all are needed. Chatasraha vidyaha iti Kautilya. Means the synthesis was developed and established. Then we have the Ashtadasha Vidyasthanani. This is very important. Further elaboration, 18 schools of learning. If we understand that much of the Indian knowledge enshrined in our texts will be understood qualitatively. 18, the 4 Vedas, and the 6 limbs of the Vedas, the Vedangas, and the 4 Upavedas, the auxiliary Vedas, and then the 4 more. There are many differences, but I have synthesized by looking at different texts and come to conclusion about the rest of the 4, the various systems of philosophy, darshanani, and the various temple traditions of rituals, that is agama, and then itihasa, Ramayana and Mahabharata, and Purana, all the Puranic lore, mythology. They constitute totally 18. To repeat, 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, 4 auxiliary Vedas, and 4 more support systems. The Vedas, Rik, Yajus, Sama, Atharva. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. And the Upavedas, Rigveda's Upaveda is Ayurveda, Yajurveda's Upaveda is Arthaveda, and Samaveda's Upaveda is Gandharva Veda, and Atharva Veda's Upaveda is Thapatya Veda. There are certain textual differences here and there, but I have taken the information from Madhusudana Saraswati's Prasthanatraya, and so it is the most updated, inclusive information. Then the Vedangas, limbs of the Vedas, Shiksha, Vyakarana, Chandas, Nirukta, Jyotisha. To repeat, Shiksha, Vyakarana, Chandas, Nirukta, Jyotisha. And the support systems, the Agamas, the Darshanas, the Itihasas, and the Puranas. Now I shall give bit of details regarding this, and then further elaboration is possible in future interactions. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, these 4 are called the Vedas. But essentially Veda has come from the root Vid, Jnane, means wisdom. And Veda is called Veda in singular, very important. Vedaha means absolute knowledge. Vedaha means knowledge which is timed, knowledge which is quantified, knowledge which is codified. Uncodified knowledge is universal. It is manifest everywhere. It is latent everywhere. And with this root has many more meanings. Visharana means to remove the bondage. That is called jnana, knowledge, which removes our ignorance, that is the bondage. Vishnu Purana, that's why it says, Yavidya sa vimuktaye. That is called knowledge which can liberate us from the clutches of ignorance, bondage and insecurity. Bhaya shoka moha nivritti. In that sense, Veda is called jnana. And that's why people should not seek any so-called sciences in the Veda. Of course, when it is quantified, we do have. Vedas have something to say about numbers. Vedas have something regarding materialism. But that is not the main purpose of Veda. For example, if I read a contemporary Kannada novel of somebody, there one line goes, the heroine was waiting for the car in which hero was arriving, and hero came in a very lavish, posh car, BMW car, and they went for a holiday excursion, something like that. Can we say that this novel has the technology to make the car? So it deals with automobile technology. It make a research and produce papers. It's as good or as bad as that. In the Vedas, somewhere it is said, Prabhovayum Krunudva. You install air in the chariot. Dayanand Saraswati takes that aeronautic engineering. It is something like that. It's a well-known joke, rather stale now. Somebody was digging and they found out copper wires and said our ancestors were having electrification, and we Indians started saying we dug, nothing seen, so wireless communication was there. Negative evidence is also an evidence. Can we say all that? So, jnana, highest knowledge, which can overcome bhaya, shoka, moha, that is the purpose of Veda. And the Veda is not the complete testimony of all that happened during that time. Vedas are essentially connected with the spiritual and the cultural development. And though it is one, for convenience it was divided into four. But again we have one term called three, Trinity. What it means? None should confuse that Atharvaveda was not in existence and it came from the back entry. No. It is clearly said in Askas Nirukta also. Professor M. Hirina too very clearly elucidates. Trayi means Rik, Yajus, Sama. Rik is versified information. Yajus is prose information, and Saman is information in the form of song. Rik means a verse, Chandobadda Padyam. Yajus is Gadyam, Anibaddham Gadyam, and Saman is song. Means any language can have three forms of expression in structure. One is verse, the other is prose, and the third one is song. You can understand prose and verse. But what is the difference between verse and song? Not W-R-S-E, V-E-R-S-E. In verse, even in recitation, we can catch the rhythm. But in song, only when it is sung, we can catch the rhythm. For example, I shall recite a verse. You can catch the rhythm. Nitanta kanta danta kanti manta kanta katmajan tvachintya rupa mantahina mantaraya krantanam hrudantare nirantaram vasantameva yoginam vasantame tameka dantamevatam vichintayami santatam. I have not added any music, any rhythm, but you can catch that. This is in Panchachamara Chandas, Vinayaka Pancharatna, supposed to be penned by Shankara. But a song I shall recite. Can you catch the rhythm? Na jiva dhara. This is the Pallavi of Tyagaraja composition. None can catch. Na jiva dhara. Like that, if I say, you can understand. However clumsy it may be to hear, but you can catch the rhythm of it. ಓಡಿಬಾರಯ್ಯ ವೈಕುಂಠಪತಿ ನಿನ್ನ ನೋಡುವೆ ಮನದಣಿಯ. ಓಡಿಬಾರಯ್ಯ ವೈಕುಂಠಪತಿ ನಿನ್ನ ನೋಡುವೆ ಮನದಣಿಯ. Like that, this is Bhairavi. So, when it is sung, we can know. This is the difference between song and verse. And prose, I need not say. No rhythm can be established. That is, so in Veda, Rig Veda is completely framed by verses, and so it is Rig Veda. And Yajur Veda, most of it is in Gadya. A few portions are in Padya, but most of it is in Gadya, and that's why we call so. And in Sama, all verses are taken from Rig Veda, but they are elaborated as songs. Except some 50 or 80 mantras, The rest are all in Rig Veda. So their elaboration means lyric is from Rig Veda and music is in Samaveda. And it is used only for the purpose of Somayaga. That is Samaveda. And Atharva Veda, the name goes after the seer who saw that Atharvan. Atharvan literally means Agni. Agni is called Atharva. Agni is for multi-purpose activity, used for both spiritual and secular purposes, both for material and religious practices, Agni. And that's why in Atharvaveda, we have so many things connected with that. Something connected with medicine, something connected with polity, something connected with black magic. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. Personally, I don't have that much of belief in all that. But I like Atharvaveda very much for its human approach. And then we have the highest spirituality in Brahmodyas and in Skambha Sukta, in Uchishta Sukta and others. And about family, relationship and respect for Mother Earth. Like that we have so many beautiful features. And so it is something like a very beautiful combination of one and all. It is like an assorted sweet packet. Rig Veda is only sweets made of kova. Yajurveda is all sweet made up of, we know, that flour, we know, the maida, like that. And then Samaveda is something like the sweet made up of some corns or some peanuts, something like that. And this is an assorted sweet packet. So this way the four Vedas are meant. And in Rig Veda we have essentially devotional hymns, more in number. There are other information is also available, but more in number. And Yajurveda, application of these devotional hymns into sacrifice, that is there. And Samaveda, the elaboration of devotional hymns into lilting, appealing ragas, tune is there. And Atharvaveda is the support system. In any yajna, we need all the four Vedas. The fourth, the person who invokes the god will recite the hymns from Rig Veda. And the Advaryu, how to apply them. For example, when Indra is invoked, Indra mantra is recited, then in which altar the oblation should go on which altar Indra will be appearing, there I have to go. I have to offer which type of offering, whether should I offer ghee or should I offer that ghee or clarified butter, or should I offer milk, or should I offer milk mixed with curds, or corn fried and pounded and cooked purodasha. That's the ancestor of paratha. Yes, that's how the etymology goes. And then how to offer, all these things will be taken care of in Yajurveda. And to appeal Indra and to elaborate that, we have the Saman. We know one idea will be expanded. For example, any song we can as well take and show, elaborate. One Telugu padam, please bear with my singing. Dari chuchuchunnadi. A lover is approached by a messenger and she is saying, your heroine, your beloved is waiting for you. Dari chuchuchunnadi. She is waiting. Dari chuchuchunnadi. It's your way. Ni dari chuchuchunnadi. She's peeping chuchuchunnadi. Dari, your way, chuchuchunnadi. She is seeing. That way, so much of anticipation and then curiosity, eagerness and all. Dari chuchuchunnadi. Ni dari. She is not going for him. Ni dari. Your way. Like that, this way of elaborating the emotion is possible only in song. That's how in Saman, one mantra will have 3, 4, 7, 8 Samans also. Like one line will have so many Sangatis we call. That's how we have that. And then that's how the gods will be appeased. Naturally, we take gods like ours. Tadannastasya devataha. Our gods are like us. See, in Judaism, the same thing is in Islam and Christianity. I am an envious God. The prophet was envious and so his God was envious. You should not worship other gods. He was intolerant to others. See, who are our friends of our quality? Can I get an Einstein as my friend? Can I get another great personality as my friend? Or can I get Osama bin Laden as my friend? I can't get. Those extremes are not possible because I am not that. Tell me about your friends, I shall tell you what you are. This is a proverb in English. So is that. That's how the elaboration goes on and the appeasing of the gods is taken care of. And the Atharva Veda will take care of the rest of the management. The Saman are sung by Udgatru, and then the Atharva Veda is taken care of along with these three by the Brahma. I don't want to go to the elaboration of the Yajnashala and other things. It's a wonderful science by itself. It has its own merit. But it should be seen as poetry, as drama. If we have time, we shall take care of those things later. Then every Veda has 4 divisions. One is, the first one, Samhita, means compilation, well placed. That is the most important section. From then, the rest of the 3 books, 3 sections have emerged. The second book is the manual for sacrificing, manual for ritual, and that is called Brahmana. Brahma means Samhita. And anything connected with the explanation and elaboration is called Brahmana. Especially in the Brahmanas, the lines of Samhita are taken and they are elaborated. Not like in Saman, they elaborated meaning-wise. For example, Jishnu Ratheshta means may our charioteers always go and win. This is one of the lines from the Vedic Rashtra Gita of Yajurveda, Ashwamedha Kanda, 7th book in the Krishna Yajurveda. There, the Taittiriya Brahmana elaborates what is called, why is called Jishnu, who is Ratheshta. Only because of him, we will be having good army, and only a better army can serve better purposes. Like that, few sentences are elaborated. And then how to go on with the ritual practices like that. That is Brahmana, mostly in prose, completely in prose. And then Aranyaka means the elaboration of the rituals should be consolidated. When I was a student of engineering, one of my electives was production planning and control. There we used to be taught 3 S's: specialization, simplification and standardization. When we go on too much of specialization, after a point we need simplification. That can only be possible with standardization. Too much of elaboration, then reduce, consolidate. Too much of made for order will become very difficult and hectic on the part of the producer. Then standardizing, like the footwear, which is standardized, like the dresses, that is medium, small, large, extra large, like that, 4 or 5 categories. So is that, in that sense, simplification is done, and simplification can happen only at the spiritual level. Material level simplification is naturally to dilution, but spiritual level of simplification is on concentration. So in Aranyaka, the external rituals are brought inwards, and the material extravagant performances will be reduced. And in the Upanishads, they are further reduced. For example, a sacrifice means 4 ritviks, they will be supported by 3 each, so totally 16, and still further support staff. Like that, it will be very elaborate, and 3 fires, 3 altars, and many more sub-altars, Dishnya, like that. We have so many. Much of investment, money investment, and all it goes on. So you reduce it. Not so much is needed. Only a small way one can do it. Like that, the physicality is reduced and the mental connections are developed. In Upanishads, it is completely inverse. Your personality itself is the Yajamana, who is the sacrificer, and your commitment to it, devotion, steadfastness, Shraddha, is the wife who is essential in Yajna, and your wrath is the Pashu, the animal which has to be sacrificed, and your desire is the oblation of clarified butter. Like that, tasyevam vidusho atma yajamana shraddha patni kama jambanyuh pashu. Like that, the altar is your heart itself. Like that, a metaphorical language is developed, and so it is an internal yaga, antar yaga. Like that, it goes on. Those who want to know more about it, and if you are ready for a heavy dose, please go to Anand Kumar Swami's article Antar Yaga. It's a wonderful research paper. Well, now this is how the Aranyaka means. The Samhita and Brahmanas are practiced in the bachelor and householder condition. When they are withdrawing the senior citizens Vanaprastha, then we have the Aranyaka. And Upanishads in the completely renounced state of mind, that is sannyasa. So Upanishad is that. Upa means closely, Nishat means sitting. Aranyaka means those who dwell in the forest, means enough of my worldly activity, I will slowly withdraw. The process of withdrawing, it's a bridge course like that to sannyasa. So that is Aranyaka. And in Upanishad, Upa means nearby. Nishat means sitting nearby the proximity of the masters, nearby the proximity of truth, and feeling that for that age is not the constraint, but generally we need certain maturity. See, all our tradition and all our rules are meant for common men. Extraordinary people, either they violate or transcend the rules. Those who are ready to face the consequences, penalty and all, they violate. Those who transcend need not say anything regarding them. But for most of the commoners, we need rules. And that's why all our tradition and texts are made for commoners, not for extraordinary. Extraordinary need no rules, need no text. They can realize, or they don't want, they cannot be taught. It's not for Pashus or Pashupatis. It's only for the intermediate people. The Patis and Satis we need. But unfortunately, people like me, neither Pati nor Sati, they will also be involved accidentally. Then we have the Upanishad, its closest feel and proximity. This I stop today's discussion. Tomorrow we shall go to the Vedangas, Upavedas and others, and the information inside that, some quantitative information, and go on with the Ashtadasha Vidyasthanas. Thank you.